Sorry about that. Technological issues plaguing us once more, but if you don't know what's going on, you have a chance to catch up with our previous stream. This is a continuation game between the Giants and the Cropdusters. Gaitherburg up 8-5 in the top of the seventh. Called strike three to get us started.
Now batting for the Giants, number 50.
It's Matt Shimani on the mound to finish this game off for the Cropdusters. Colin Hughes just struck out for the Giants. It now brings up Bryce Rudisil. Shimani from the windup. Kicks, deals. Fastball, outside corner, called strike. It's not just me tonight, it's also Ben Gerwich. Ben, how you doing?
Good, still we're trying to get all set here. It's a weird situation where, not the first time that the Cropdusters have not been the team of where they're playing. They played away when they were home, and now they are home when they're away for these final 3 innings.
It's an awkward set. Usually games at this point get called, complete. It was a decision to resume this game at a later date. Here it is, 2-1 count. Rudisil chops it right side out of play.
And of course, it's an 8-5 ball game. Cropdusters hitting has been better, and maybe they'll find their way back in this one with just 3 innings to work with.
They'll have to battle, a 3-run cushion in the top of the third, top of the fourth. That's different than one when you just have 9 outs remaining. Cropdusters have work to do. Shimani on the bump, 2-2 count. Breaking ball outside, count full 3-2. Chop straight back out of play.
As these teams are, just without even including the 10 innings they're about to play, are quite comfortable with each other.
12 innings.
12 innings, yeah. I was thinking 7-inning games for some reason.
Broken bat. Man, that thing sure did snap right into the glove of Shimani. Ben, the barrel nearly touched the handle when it broke. I don't know if you ever, I know you're not a big UFC guy, I'm starting to convert you, but there's a clip where Chris Weidman, a former UFC welterweight and middleweight, breaks his leg on a kick, and then his foot essentially touches his knee. And imagine that, but with a baseball bat. That's exactly what just happened to Rudisil's bat. There's 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. First pitch.
An image we all want to imagine, of course.
Not a pleasant one as Magnus Krieger is at the plate with a 1-0 count. Shimani working from the windup. He's retired the first 2, rather. Fastball skied. Shallow right field. It's going to be Kiefer who takes it at second base. And the inning is over. Giants go 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th. It's an 8-5 contest as we head to the bottom half of the inning. Ben, we just got started, and it's already time to stretch.
Yeah, and we're going to have some more time to stretch between these 2 games. There's some unclear how long it'll be. We know that, on the schedule it says a 7 o'clock start. I think us and everyone else who is here is hoping that it'll be an earlier start. And, of course, if we find anything out, we'll let you know.
Do you have anything planned for the break? Because I brought a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I plan to have that carry me over in the next 9 innings, and I'm starting to plan ahead.
That's very good of you. No, I was just kind of spent the day living in the moment, thinking about getting here, and yeah, it's a nice day. We'll maybe get some talking to the players, get some reactions, especially based on how this game goes. I mean, obviously they only have 9 outs to work with, but it would sure be nice if they could, find a way to mount a comeback and then already have a win on the day.
You just imagine if whoever wins this game is just so much more content pressure-wise heading into the next half. For the Giants, it's kind of two opposite sides of a coin. Giants almost need a win. They lose so often. They're one of the worst teams in the league that a win would just feel so redeeming. While the Cropdusters, on the other hand, don't want to fall to one of the worst teams in the league and then risk losing to them again in a following contest. Especially as the calendar is now flipped to June and the playoffs are creeping ever closer. It's Sakai Hawkins who leads us off.
And, you know, it's been, although we are still, you know, in whatever game this is, just in terms of the schedule, they've been playing a lot better and you know, are in a much better spot than if it was 8-5 when this game, you know, originally took place.
Cropdusters ripped off 4 straight before falling 3-1 at Alexandria. Won the other day at the DC Grays. That was Sunday night, or Monday night rather. 2-0 to Hawkins. He stands in to start the bottom of the 7th.
5 out of 6 is, you know, nothing to complain about at all.
Called strike right at the knees. You're right, Ben, especially for a team that had been reeling, hadn't pieced together a win streak or a win set like that, I suppose, in quite some time. It's got to feel redeeming. Can make it 3 games if they win both today. 2-1 pitch to Hawkins is upstairs, make it 3-1. Carls kicks, deals, fastball misses out, and Zakiah Hawkins draws a leadoff walk.
Now batting for the Cropdusters, number 8, Tyler Cook.
So far things are going according to plan. They got the scoreless inning in the top of the 7th, and then a leadoff base runner here for the Dusters.
Brings in Tyler Cook. Chance for him to get going against Carls. First pitch low. Cook takes 1-0. Hawkins about 8 feet off the first base bag. Carls set, kicks, deals. Cook chops it right back towards us. It's 1-1.
A little bit ahead of that one. As you heard from the bench, head on it. Yeah, it's kind of swinging. Needs to recalibrate. Let's put bat to ball.
1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, line drive, caught by Rudisill at third. Throw back to first, not in time. It hails over Orr's head. Hawkins will head to second base on the tag. There will be no throw. Tyler Cook unlucky. That ball was smoked down the third base line. There's now 2 outs. Hawkins is now taking third as Rudisill was not covering the bag. Heads up base running by Zakiah Hawkins. Giants fell asleep. Runner on third with 2 outs brings up Luke Kiefer.
Zakiah Hawkins with some excellent base running. He's on his toes, although the Giants may have not be.
First pitch fastball inside, bounces out of Hughes' gloves and to his right. Hawkins holds it third. It's 1-0. 2 gone, 8-5 contest in the bottom of the 7th. Cropdusters at the plate. Kiefer chops it off home plate. Off the mound comes Carls. Throw to first in time.
But thanks
Rather,
to
there was 1 out. Hawkins comes in to score. It's now 8-6. Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
And, you know, even a 3-foot dribbler does the job thanks to some excellent base running from Zakiah Hawkins, who, talk about manufacturing a run. I mean, he just walked, forced a throw back to first, took the extra base, and then caught the Giants sleeping and already chipping away.
Brings in Jaden Knight. 1-0 count as Carl's fastball misses outside. Hawkins, you're right, Ben, stellar base running. He's done that all season. It's been one of his strengths. Knight chops it left side, out of play. Even count, 1-1.
And you take a look at the stats. I mean, we're talking about the low batting average, low OPS, but going to the top of the lineup right now, it's getting up there.
Knight, base hit, infield. Maxey went backhand in the deep 6-hole. No time to throw as Knight sprints down to first. Dusters have a 2-out base runner, Jaden Knight, an infield single.
And sort of an onslaught from the Cropdusters in that away game. Obviously, I wasn't there; you were there, but that's a good Grays team that they beat handily thanks to an impressive offensive showing.
First pitch, Roan Klein pops it up, shallow center field. Conversing is Brady Powell, who makes the catch all the way from left. Brady Ruiz-Weiss took about 4 steps back in center field and was well behind the play. Brady Powell saving his teammate. Inning over, Cropdusters tally 1. It's 8-6 as we head to the top of the 8th.
So they don't get it all back, but they do get one, and back to work goes this defense. And you look at the scoreboard, 4 errors by the Cropdusters, and that was through the first 7 innings. But again, they were kind of in a funk of that game and had a really rough 6th inning. So if anything, maybe that break could prove beneficial.
That 6th inning, Ben, was one where Aiden Fry dropped a pop-up in the infield with the bases loaded that scored 3 runs. Gave the Giants the lead, a pass ball on a pickoff attempt to first, scored another, and then a wild pitch. I mean, it was just a really ugly inning for the Cropdusters, arguably the worst we've seen from them all season. Now, just about a week later, Olney has a chance to get back right. Giants hold the advantage. It's 8-6 here on the top of the 8th. This continuation game moved from First Responders Field to Christwell Automotive Field. Matt Shimani back out for his 2nd inning of work. Went 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th. He'll start his 2nd frame against Michael Cantiliano, righty-lefty matchup. Cantiliano a lefty, Shimani a righty.
Cantiliano, not a real power hitter. Hits the ball on the ground to force you to make plays.
First pitch called, strike, fastball right at the knees. It's 0-1. Cantiliano has 10 hits on the season. All of them have been singles, Ben. Not a whole lot of power behind the bat as he chops one to Cromartie at 3rd. Throw to first with plenty of time. Leadoff man retired. Michael Cantiliano grounds out. Shimani 4 for 4 so far.
Cromartie playing on the grass, which always makes that hot corner feel even, hotter. But he was still able to corral that one cleanly, despite the lack of time to think.
Hot corner feels especially hot today with the sun scorching right in Cromartie's face, essentially. He's got to wear the glasses over at 3rd. 1-0 count to Nate Houghton-Henley. Skies it out of play. Evens at 1-1. There's 1 out here on the top of the 8th. 8-6 contest, Giants ahead. Righty-righty matchup between Shimani and Houghton-Henley. From the windup, Shimani kicks, deals, curveball, fouled back. It's 1-2.
Shimani doing a nice job just attacking the zone. And we're getting some deja vu. 8-6 ball game.
Fastball just low.
We saw it. It was here where it was an 8-2 ball game. The Cropdusters ended up winning that game 9-8. Now they, with being the home team here, getting even more of a boost. It was that 8th inning where they scored all the runs.
We're in the 8th now, a chance for the Cropdusters to do something in the bottom half as Houghton-Henley rolls it over. Cromartie bare hand, no throw to first. Houghton-Henley just too fast. 1 out infield base knock. for the Giants brings in Ryan Maxey. Shamani, you said it though, Ben, he's pounding the zone, which is encouraging because coming into the contest, he had struggled with control through just 1.1 strikes for every ball, a ratio he's hoping to get up. First pitch outside, 1-0.
Yeah, certainly something he's trying to get up, and you know, against the Gaitherburg Giants team that has not been incredibly successful, chance to just kind of pound the zone and hope for the best.
Second consecutive fastball is fouled to the left side. It's 1-1.
We've seen the blueprint for success for this Cropdusters pitching staff. It's been with the strikes. It's been consistently strikes, and in this game particularly, earlier in this year, we saw Zach Sabo just kind of pound the zone against these guys.
Hard line drive out to right center. On the run goes Scott and Swanson. Neither get there. Rounding third is Houghton Henley. He will hold there after a hefty turn. Quick relay into Luke Kiefer held him there. There's now runners on second and third after the one-out double by Ryan Maxey. Brady Powell stands in top of the order for the Giants.
Really impressive job to keep that, get that ball in quickly and keep the runner from scoring. You know, Houghton Henley, good speed, but he was not sent. Pretty conservative.
Top of the order coming up. You already have the lead. You might just be looking for insurance at this point. Infield in for the Cropdusters. 1-0 count to Brady Powell.
There's a team that I think would have sent Houghton Henley home there.
They might be wearing yellow and playing this Giants team.
That they might be.
I will need 3 baseballs, please. 3. Thank you.
1-1 count. We're not saying any names over here.
And not that that would have been a bad decision. I was expecting Houghton Henley to kind of be scoring standing up there.
Nice job by Scott to relay it in from center field as Powell, hard line drive down the line. It's just foul.
He hung the curveball there. It was a gift, a pitch to really hit, and you saw the swing. I mean, it was noticeably that it was a pitch that could have been driven, but just out in front of it. Got to stay a little bit more composed, especially in this situation. You can't be missing a pitch like that. You know, a good swing doesn't really mean much. It's a foul ball end of the day. You got to find a way to sit back and drive it when you get a gift like that.
Just a tad ahead, it seemed. Put good barrel on it. It's 1-2. Shamani kicks, deals, fastball skied right side out of play. We'll run it all over again.
Good 1-2 pitch from Shamani Powell, just trying to fight it off. A little bit up, maybe out of the zone. Elevated fastball, never a bad idea.
Veteran pitcher using all of his tools. 1-2 pitch, line drive right to Shamani. With the infield in, there was nobody to cover either bag, so no double play opportunity. But Matt Shamani does it himself. A line out right into his glove means 2 outs here in the top of the 8th, still an 8-6 contest.
Sometimes, like you said, better rather be lucky than good. Ball was hit hard. Shamani puts the glove out, makes a play.
First pitch, Ruiz Weiss, check swing called strike. 0-1 count, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Giants up a pair. Righty-lefty matchup. Swing and a miss. Ruiz Weiss ahead of the off speed. He's down 0-2.
It's been a tough inning. I mean, Shamani's gotten hit hard, yet he finds himself just 1 pitch away from getting out of a second and third 1-out jam, and, you know, puts the Cropdusters with momentum and with a real good chance to come back.
0-2 pitch. Ball skips away from Cook. In comes Houghton Henley. The tag, not in time. Wild pitch scores 1 for the Giants. It's now 9-6 here in the top of the 8th. Maxey advanced to third on the pitch, so he now stands 90 feet away from home plate. Good effort by Cook. It took a beneficial bounce off the backstop. Popped right into his glove, laid out as Shamani was not going to be at home plate in time. Houghton Henley just too fast. 1-2 pitch now to Reese White. Swing and a miss. Chase is at his head, and the inning ends. Giants tally 1. It's a 9-6 contest as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
The wild pitch, as we often talk about, feels so, it's not given that status of, an RBI, but it's, of course, just as important. Just, on one pitch away from getting out of the inning. It's 0-2. Obviously, you don't want to make a mistake. You want to make a pitch that's not going to get hit hard. But the last thing you want to do is give up a gift, and that's what unfortunately happened, just bouncing it. And yeah, like you said, took a fortuitous hop. It was basically as close as that play could have been after that ball got behind Cook, but no way you're going to get someone with the speed of Houghton Henley.
Rising freshman attending Maryland next year. Houghton Henley can absolutely fly. The problem for him has just been getting on base. When he's on base, he has a tendency to steal. Swiped 2 bags so far this season. It seems like it could be more the way he flew down that line.
So the 1 from the 7th is wiped away, and the Cropdusters need to, right back to being on the defensive and finding a way to come back.
Not only is it wiped away, they're 3 outs closer to losing the contest, or 3 outs closer to losing the contest. Only 6 remaining. It'll be 8-9, top of the order for Olney.
Brian Scott, who had a nice day at the plate, in the victory from the 9-hole, 3 hits. And, he can be a spark plug.
Real good day from Scott. We'll see if he can carry it over into tonight's contests.
We often talk about his aggressiveness. Down 3 if he gets a fastball in the zone. He's just going to try to be a base runner, find a way on.
First pitch upstairs. Scott does a little limbo. It's 1-0. Bottom of the 8th, Cropdusters down 3. Righty-righty matchup. Carl's back out for his 2nd inning of work. 1-0 pitch. Fastball, similar spot. Carl's struggling to locate the four-seamer, and Brian Scott doing his best limbo impression back-to-back times, ducking out of the zone. It's 2-0.
And you see a Memphis, wasting no time situation. You're up 3, bottom 8. You do not want to, give up the free pass, give the Cropdusters any, unneeded extra confidence. So trying to get ahead of it before the leadoff walk.
Scott has walked 4 times this season. Has a 2-0 count against Nicholas Carls. Normal infield depth for the Giants. Scott attacks, fouls it straight back. It's 2-1.
And he's frustrated with himself. A pitch that he could have done something with, kind of in his wheelhouse, a bit up on the inside part of the plate, but just fouls it back.
2 balls and a strike to Scott. Pitch upstairs, make it 3-1. Hitter Scott to Olney center fielder. There's nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Scott wears one on the wrist. Tough way to draw a walk. Or a base, I suppose. 3-1 count, drilled with one in a really sensitive spot. Scott will take his time heading to first. Brings up the 9-hitter for Olney, R.J. Cromartie.
But, the classic recipe for disaster for a team trying to hold on to the lead is a leadoff walk. Or a leadoff, base runner hit by pitch. And that's what the Cropdusters have now. Cromartie, another patient hitter up.
Olney scored after a leadoff walk last inning by Zakiah Hawkins. First pitch to R.J. Cromartie inside. It's 1-0. Scott extends his lead at first. Carls comes set. Pitch outside. It's 2-0. Cromartie a lefty facing Carl's a righty. Scott extends his lead. Fastball misses away. R.J. Cromartie has a 3-ball, no strike count.
So a clear take all the way situation for Cromartie, trying to give the tying run up to base in Coy Swanson, who is on the on-deck circle.
Off speed, called strike, breaks right in the upper part of the zone. It's 3-1.
So it goes curveball, you know, kind of an example of just the lack of feel that he has for the fastball right now.
3-1 pitch, back to the curveball, chopped off the plate and off of Cromartie's foot. Does a little hobble. Count full 3-2. Scott still on first. There's nobody out. Bottom of the 8th, Cropdusters trail by 3.
Certainly, you know, Cromartie doesn't love to get hit, but I won't be mad that I hit him because that ball was going nowhere, way ahead of the back-to-back curveball.
3-2, and it's a take by Cromartie, and he draws. The walk, back-to-back base runners on for Olney. There's 2 on, nobody out. Scott on second, Cromartie now on first. Brings up the top of the order in Coy Swanson.
Now batting for the Cropdusters, number 22, Coy Swanson.
And we'll get a mound visit. Righty up in the Gaitherburg bullpen.
So consecutive mound visits after, you know, both free passes. And again, the Giants are really just, they're trying to do what they can to not blow this one. They know how important those walks are. This is not how they envision this inning going. And now the Cropdusters, you know, in prime position to get back into this one. Just down 3 with the first 2 base runners on.
Time run at the plate in Swanson. He's knocked 2 home runs this season. Would be one heck of a spot for number 3. Would tie this thing up.
Obviously can't get in that headspace if you're Swanson, though. Especially after the 2 walks. Have to stay patient. Can't try to force the issue.
Corners in for the Giants. First pitch, Swanson shows bunt, pulls back. It's 1-0.
So he takes, again, after pitcher not throwing strikes. We've talked about it in the past, giving up outs. Situation, we'll see if Swanson is actually going to lay it down.
Breaking ball snaps in the zone. Called strike. It's 1-1. Nice slider from Carls, evens the count.
And that's really the pitch that he's been able to locate. You know, a situation where you can sort of sit on a slider. You know, you're not supposed to really do that, but the off speed has been the bread and butter in terms of finding the zone.
Goes fastball. Swanson rolls it over. Or just tags Swanson out at first. Steps on the bag. There's 1 gone. Both runners advance. Scott to third. Cromartie to second. Brings in Cade Walter.
Now batting for the Cropdusters, Cade Walter.
But you got the heart of the order up now in Walter and then Zakai Hawkins, who've been your 2, you know, hottest hitters and 2 of the best hitters on this team in general.
Walter, arguably number 1, has the highest OPS on the Cropdusters. Only player with an OPS over 1,000. 1-0 count after the breaking ball missed away. Fastball, Walter skies it deep left center field, back at the wall. It's off the top of the wall. 1 run scores. Cromartie rounds third. He will score. It's a 1-1 ball game. 9-8 contest. Cade Walter knocks in a pair. Olney trails by just 1.
Great piece of hitting, and we've talked about it all year as Walters has continued to improve. There was no doubt about his ability, but like we said, because of injuries, it's just been a long time until he saw live pitching. But I mean, it's so clear as you look at his year. His numbers have gotten better and better and better as he has finally, you know, he's fully acclimated and he's become the Cropdusters, you know, best hitter. Excellent job going the other way and smoking that double. And now there's great speed on the bases, and that's the tying run.
Brings up Zakai Hawkins, who's also one of the better hitters on this team. First pitch attack right up the middle. It's bobbled by Maxey. Walter holds it third. Hawkins safe at first. There's runners on the corners with just 1 out. Brings in Tyler Cook, tying run just 90 feet away.
And we've talked about it, you know, despite Cook's low average, he's not a huge strikeout guy, there's good speed on the bases. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you put Hawkins in motion early. I don't expect him to throw it down, and if they do, then you know Walter can run home. And you know, if you get that runner over early, then Cook just got to put it in play. It won't be a double play. It'll you know most likely find a way through.
First pitch fouled back. It's 0-1.
With Cook's ability to hit the ball hard, really think stealing Hawkins could be the way to go. You do not want to, you know, find yourself in a situation where a hard ground ball turns into a double play instead of an RBI.
Off goes Hawkins from first. Cook, it hits off his bat, ducked out of the way, couldn't get the wood down. It's 0-2.
Frustrating for Cook. Doesn't get the bat down. And, you know, could have been a wild pitch. Hawkins was easily going to be staying up at second. Instead, Cook now in an 0-2 hole and has to protect the plate. We've seen the off-speed pitch a lot. Cook's got a battle. Big hole in the second base and first base gap.
Breaking ball called, strike 3. Little announcer's jinx, Ben. You said Cook not one of the guys that strikes out a lot. He's down on 3 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, he got the off-speed pitch, and, you know, he doesn't think it was in the zone, but regardless, he did not, you know, look great on it. He kind of buckled himself, so umpire maybe giving the pitcher the benefit of the doubt, especially given the, you know, the uncomfortable nature of the way he took that pitch.
Kiefer rolls it over. Rudisil scoops it third. Throw to first. It's high! Walter ties this thing up. Rounding third is Hawkins. Play at the plate, not in time. Cropdusters have the lead. Olney has come storming back in the 8th once more. It's now 10-9 Cropdusters.
And just like that, they're 3 outs away from a victory. The 8th inning for the Cropdusters at Criswell Field has just been a place that has brought pure elation, ability to for the Dusters, you know, for the Giants. It has been anything but. But just like that, the Cropdusters have that 10-9 advantage. And we talked about the power of putting it in play. That's what we saw right there, you know. Kiefer didn't really get much on it, but hustled, big play, you know, in a big situation, players can kind of get in their heads. We saw it right there, and a huge error.
0-1 pitch to Jada Knight. Fastball inside evens the count, 1-1. 8 combined errors, Ben. Putting the ball in play sometimes really yields Little League results. In this league, 1-1 pitch tonight, called strike. Breaking ball snaps right at the knees. It's 1-2.
And once again, credit to Zakai Hawkins. He was stealing on the pitch from first, and he scored all the way from first on a ground ball to the third baseman. Excellent job never giving up in the play.
Chops it over to second base, throw on the run from Quintiliano, ends the inning. Had to wait a second until we saw the umpire call out. Never know what's going to happen because the Cropdusters just tallied 4 in the bottom of the 8th. They're 3 outs away from a miraculous victory. It's 10-9 only as we head to the top of the 9th.
And we talked about momentum going into Game 2. If the Cropdusters pull this game out, make it 6 wins out of 7, and the Giants falter despite the 3-run lead going to the bottom of the 8th, I find it hard to believe that the Giants, you know, would find a way to at least get off to a hot start in Game 2. But you never know. Baseball's a weird game and stuff always happens. But just on paper, it points to the Cropdusters being in a great spot, you know, for the rest of this game, but also for Game 2.
It's been really impressive what Olney's been able to do here tonight, and we're only in Game 1.
It was just 2 weeks ago when the Giants gave up those 7 runs and fell to the Cropdusters. In that bottom of the 9th, in a 1-run game, they got a leadoff runner on second. They were not able to cash it in. I mean, just everything about that game would have left a bad taste in the mouth of the Gaitherburg Giants. They do not want to add to it right now.
Cropdusters just 3 outs away from victory. Giants trying to mount a comeback. Shimani back on the bump, top of the 9th. First pitch to Danny Orr, upstairs fastball, miss, 1-0.
In a situation where Shimani can pitch himself into getting the victory, came in when the Dusters were down 3, now still pitching when they're up 1.
1-0 pitch, Sky, shallow center field. In comes Scott, dives, made the play. And then, I don't want to say it too loudly, but I'm not sure Brian Scott made that catch. It looked like it bounced in his glove, and nobody had a clear angle.
Yeah, I saw a bounce, and I was surprised that there was no, outcry for, a second opinion or anything. Maybe there's not a great angle, but at least from here, you could see the ball not in his glove. Unclear if it hit the ground, but it clearly was out of his glove for at least a second.
We'll have to look at that one once this contest ends. Brian Scott might be up for an Oscar. 1-0 pitch to Colin Hughes. Swing and a miss. Nearly lost the bat. It's 1-1.
I think Hughes had plans to make it a 10-10 game, but instead he was well behind on that pitch.
Ball on a strike, line drive into left, base hit. Walter Scoops was a 1-out base runner for the Giants. Tying run on first. Brings up Bryce Rudisil rather.
Good swing after taking such a big one the pitch before, able to shorten up, kind of just go inside out with a fastball on his hands and shoot it the other way. Good unselfish hitting, not trying to be the hero, just trying to, be one of a couple in this inning. I heard a lot of cheers for, okay, just get a ground ball after the base hit. Cropdusters could be a ground ball away from winning this game.
Pick off of first. Hughes back safely. Rudisil at the dish. Line drive. Left, it's going to fall. Base hit. 2 men on for the Giants. Things getting dicey here in the top of the 9th.
Number 46, Magnus Krieger.
Rudisil kind of copying the approach of Hughes. Got a fastball and just trying to take it the other way. Good piece of hitting. As, similar to the last time these two faced off here, the Giants would refuse to just kind of go down easy after blowing the lead.
They get the Cropdusters work for everything they've got. Giants offense has been the more prolific, 12 hits compared to Olney's 8. They've got 2 here in the top of the 9th. Krieger, swing and a miss. He's down 0-2.
You never know, but in a game that there's been 8 errors and this game is really flipped on its head a couple times due to a big mistake. You feel like it really could come down to, can the Cropdusters make the big play?
Swing and a miss. Foul tip right into Cook's glove. Huge strikeout by Shimani. There's now 2 gone. Olney just 1 out away from victory.
Weirdly enough, Krieger has been one of their best hitters. The Cropdusters have just, fared really well against him. A lot of strikeouts, and he's kind of been a non-factor.
First pitch to Cantiliano is inside. It's 1-0. 1-0 pitch. 2 runners on. Cantiliano awaits. Chops. First baseline. Rolls out of play. Man, Klein could have seen if that would have rolled back fair. It railed off the glass and was cutting back towards him. Cantiliano didn't run to first.
Cantiliano was acting like it hit him, but I didn't see the call. It wasn't called foul until, Klein touched it. If that did roll fair and he was called out, I think there would have been some frustration. Cantiliano definitely acting like it hit him.
Ball and a strike. Fastball away, misses. It's 2-1.
We saw it last inning. Schmanny able to battle when the runners got on base and in scoring position. He's got that big strikeout now. Just needs one more.
2-1 swing and a miss. Cantiliano late on the upstairs fastball. It's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fastball up in the zone. Full count. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Michael Cantiliano at the plate. Matt Schmanny on the bump. Cropdusters lead by 1 for the Giants. Tying runners on second base. Payoff pitch. Runners will go. Swing and a miss! Cropdusters win. They score 5 in the final 2 and win this one 10-9. Olney keeps the win streak going.
Second game will be starting around 6:15.
We have 30 minutes until our next game, so we'll see you there at 6:15. But for Ben Gerwich,